Right, so time for Join News Interactive. Aisha is here. Hello, Aisha.
Hi, Ezra.
Yeah.
All right, so you know how to join the conversation. It's on facebook.com/Joy News on TV, and on Twitter it's on Joy News. We're having very interesting conversations, and you know it's the best hour around this time in Ghana. Okay, so now that you have a glass of juice, just relax. But ever wondered the fate of the Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator? I'm talking about Mr. George J, who was attacked by the pro-NPP Delta Force. Of course, the vigilante group thought he was undeserving of that position, but Information Minister Mustafa Hamid says President Akufo-Addo will not appoint a new person to take that position. He explains removing him will mean endorsing impunity and lawlessness. But imagine you were in a similar situation. Would you want to maintain such position, the same place you were attacked?
I should consider my personal life first. So if I am attacked by these vigilante forces, yeah, I think the best thing I would do is to resign first while investigation into that attack is conducted. Yes, I would wish to resign for the sake of my life and for the sake of my family.
If proper measures are being taken, I will still retain my position. But if proper steps are not taken, I don't think it will be better for me to be there. But I'll better resign. But I just want to see some action being taken against them before I can start working.
I think it's a matter of national security, and it's a matter of the system working. So it's not the duty of the person to take care of himself, but so it's the duty of the nation to have a good national security. So if he's been attacked and he's still having his position, I think that he should be provided with the necessary security. If I was in his shoes, I'll make sure that I get a good security, not to vacate my post, but to get a good security.
Once you have been given the work and you're doing it wholeheartedly, you have to continue and do it. Yeah.
Aren't you worried there might be another attack?
For the attack, it will come, but you also have to just make yourself ready, because I know that it's not everybody that has rejected you anyway. Once the president is also backing you, you have to also move ahead with the goals that you want to achieve.
All right, let's check what you've been saying on Facebook. A lot of the messages are coming.
Kweti Boateng says it will be calamitous for the president to revoke the appointment. People will use similar approach to get government appointees out when they feel disgruntled. To the security coordinator, he has to do extra work to win the heart of all and to justify his appointment. Barima Kwabaji Jini, that Mr. George J. Man, just as that one who resigned 3 days after his appointment, was hand over the job to the Delta Force chaps, else they will lynch him the next time they invade his office. This government has thrown our security to the dogs, and so chances must not be taken at all. The peaceful nation that was handed over to the NPP and Nana Akufo-Addo is now under a 24-hour UN security surveillance. God help us. Anaman Recipe says, nah, I would rather go and farm or go to fishing, or go for fishing rather than to die in the hands of these Chuck Norris Delta Force. Bayer Jeremiah says, I'll consider my own security first. I will not take the post when given the second chance.
And Mystical Barima says, I think there's wisdom in what the minister is saying. Revoking his appointment will amount to endorsing lawlessness. Boniface Bobby Shafto says, it's better he's changed. There are over thousands of positions he can get with his qualifications. And Bambakia Samet writes, I don't think invoking the appointment and refusing to appoint new security coordinator makes any difference, except that the president has just endorsed their action. The Delta Forces said they would not allow George J to be the regional security coordinator, and the president has just invoked, okay, he hasn't revoked the appointment. He says he would maintain him. So that's what it is, Bambakia Summit. The Media Simon says it depends on the maximum security put in place by government such that the chances of future occurrences are slim. Those are your messages on Facebook. Also, I'm sure government's promise of one district, one factory is something a lot of you are looking forward to, especially in the first term of President Akufo-Addo in office. Well, if you care to know, government has released 465 million Ghana cedis to start the one district, one factory project. This might be assuring, but concerns are that many districts may not get what they want in terms of factories that will benefit them. So let's make it easy for government. Just name one district and tell us the appropriate factory you think will benefit the people there.
Dangwe East District in the Greater Accra region, and a tomato factory. I think that would be better for my people.
So why a tomato factory?
Because the people there, they are farmers. Most of them are farmers. Like they have pepper, watermelon, but mostly it's tomatoes.
To what extent do you think this can help the people?
I think it will go a long way to help the youth in that district. Because most of them, you see them traveling to Ashama. I mean, well, you don't know what they are doing. But I think when the factory is being located there to help the youth in the town. Okay,
so taking a look at the place and how it is, does it look like the youth will be interested in working in a tomato factory?
Sure. They'll be interested.
I'm from Jomoro, and then that place is full of sea. But I'm from the Elibo district, okay, but you just have to do it at the place where we have full of sea. That is the fish area. So when we have a factory like an industry where they'll be able to produce a lot of fish, I think that would do because they are good at that. Yeah, any kind of fish at all, like tuna, any kind of fish at all would do. Yeah. So when they go to the sea and then they catch fish, I think they have to produce it.
So all I'm saying, my district, that is Aguna West District. And we can do these orange drinks there. We have these orange drinks, yeah. Okay. We have plenty of orange there and people plant orange. So we can do it there.
Okay, so you mean orange trees?
Yes.
So what kind of factory would you want?
If they do something like orange drink and this thing, I think it's good.
Okay, so you mean a fruit processing?
Yeah, fruit processing, something like that.
And Israel?
Well,
Where you come from, your district?
I come from Teshin. I guess we'd also do some fishes too.
So you want to do what?
Yeah, we want to bring a cannery to Teshin.
That's good.
So that should work.
Let's check what you've been writing on Facebook.
Barima Kubaji says, you plan to establish a factory in all 216 districts in this country, and you allocate a meager 456 million to it. This government is such a confused one. It would spend 20 million cedis on Ghana 60, but not spend enough to produce the jobs they so promised. God help Ghana. Mensa Konto says the first 1 billion cedis should be used to hire historians, philosophers, and psychologists to train and change the mindset of the leaders and workers of such a factory, to do away with corrupt attitudes which can prevent the fruition of the factories. Koblan Hogley says there is a lot of cassava around Ho. I think a starch, gari, or biscuit factory will be appropriate there. And lots of cocoa pods are going waste in the cocoa growing areas. Meanwhile, the pods are the key raw materials for soap making. Makia Samet says the first government in the last 20 years taking a very bold step to solve the problem of unemployment all over the country. Hooray. But I think tomatoes processing factory will be okay for my area. Kasina, Nankena, East and West.
And Kwesi Boateng says the establishment of a chalk factory at Mpoho district and establishment of a mini oil palm mill at Asante Achim South, Joaso. Nanoting says, I do not have any company offhand, but I do believe that the government will do all it can to keep its promise made to the good people of Ghana. Avevo Hope says, how shall we escape? How shall we escape if
He's referring to something else. Let's move on.
Okay, it's a poem or what?
Scripture.
Chief Mano says there's an establishment of Shito factory at my pepper growing Busomtre district in the Ashanti region. Boniface Bobby Shafto says that the cement MPP's government for the next 2 decades. When will NDC campaign to get that 1.5 million voter debt settled? Oh, okay. I don't quite get what you're saying. Ebando says government should have...
Okay, so the point is making, this cements MPP's government for the next 2 decades.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, they're going to be in power for the next thing. When will NDC campaign together the difference in the voter, the results at the just election? It's not 1.5
it's
actually.
1 million. And Eben Doe says government should have first identified the various companies and where they are to be cited before releasing the money. If not, people will begin lobbying and forces will start attacking. Galbasto says, it is well. I think it will benefit us as a country. So let's pray and support it, and God will help us. Nkrumah Francis says, Prestia Oni Valley District, Abosso Glass Factory, Nana should please revive it for us. And those are some suggestions on Facebook. I'm sure government officials are watching. Probably they'll take note of some of your suggestions. Very interesting suggestions. So, but finally, yesterday was a bad day. Bad day because we recorded 2 fire outbreaks. One at the Kumasi Central Market and another at the Ash Foam Warehouse in Accra. This is not the first time such fires have been recorded, especially at the Kumasi Central Market. Mostly these fires are as a result of the smallest human error you will not avert your mind to. So let's share some fire safety tips to protect ourselves from fire outbreaks. Let's hear you first.
What really causes fire most these days is the gas. So we have to check that thing. And when we see that it is there is a little, leakage, you have to change the knot on it, or else fire can catch.
The moment you see the fire, you just raise the alarm, or you can just exit. You just leave the scene and just call in assistance. Yeah, and if you have a fire extinguisher, you can also try to use it to off the fire.
Okay, so what are some of the things you can do to prevent fires from breaking?
Or you make sure by the time you leave the house, you make sure all gadgets are off. You check, especially the gas, you check it is off. Yeah, you check all electrical gadgets, you just make sure everything is off before you leave the house.
After cooking, you must off the gas so that you avoid fires from exploding. Or
one, you should make sure you put off fire after cooking. And also just avoid spray and that's the fragrance and stuff, because it contains some gas in it. You should avoid them getting closer to any fire. And also smoking near gas cooker and stuff to prevent explosion.
Okay, so those are some very interesting tips from the streets of Accra. A lot of the tips are on Facebook. Israel, let's check.
Chief Mano says, frankly, for fire at Kumasi Central Market, the driver of the foam truck must be held responsible. Then disciplining some of these drivers is just too much. Then Afra says, if the Delta Force criminals were well fined, those proceeds would have been used to compensate the fire victims. The safety tip is for the helicopters to be spraying water over Kumasi Central Market, as the fire will surely come. Oh, really? Bendo says, it's all about being conscious when dealing with fire and making sure our institutions are up to task so that the level of distraction can be minimized. Al-Hassan Yakubu says, fire outbreaks are mainly caused through human activities, natural disaster, bush burning, and others. Education is the only key way to minimize these fire outbreaks in our homes. Let's try to intensify it for better prevention and management. One house, one fire officer.
Daniel Nusenu says, when evil men lead a country, the innocent citizens suffer. I don't quite get what you're trying to say. Nanaba Alokoti Bismarck says, simply switch all electrical appliances when not in use and switch them off when leaving their place. Aliu Mahama says, all electrical appliances, switches and sockets should be put completely off. before leaving the room. Nana Kofi Frimpong writes, Ghanaians are talkatives. We just talk about a week and keep shifting blames on non-logical basis, and we go round and come and face the same problem. Okay, you didn't give us a tip there. Haruna Larry says, job vacants. Aveno Hope says,
let's keep him too.
Okay, it's coming back. Doris says we should check our wiring in the market. The Media Simon writes, it is sad this goes on. And Vincent says, he called this not the first time. This is what we voted for. And he adds a question mark. I don't know what question he's trying to ask. So those are very interesting tips we've had. I hope you at home have picked 1 or 2 points there to check that we don't involve ourselves in fire outbreaks. That's it for the interactive segment. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. I enjoyed myself. I hope you did too. Have a great one.